Let's read. Proverbs 10:21 says this.
The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for lack of wisdom.
Look at your neighbor and says, you got to learn how to hear what's being said, take what's being said, accept what's being said, and don't be a fool and ignore it. A fool hears what you say and talking about, I'm still going to be me, and it's going to be, you know what, let me tell you what the season's going. We're going to go into a great prosperity season, but in that same season, this is what's going to happen. You're going to lose what you were leaning on. And if you don't take this wisdom, you're going to find yourself being exposed with the real you, because your handicap that been holding you up is no longer available. I've seen people, oh, this is so, I don't want to hear this. I've seen people go get a house and get their grandmother too, and take their grandmother's check to live in that house. Grandma died, and all 10 of them got to go move into a 2-bedroom apartment because grandma's check took care of all the bills. They worked every day, watch this, and did not save. When they had the resources, they spend like the Joneses. Grandma died, the social service company finds out, the administration finds out grandma ain't dead. They stop the check, and you got to move. Because you were living off of grandma's fixed income. I just don't want to live in that. You don't want to leave that 5-bedroom house because grandma died in it. You know she was going to die in it anyway. You leaving it because you can't pay that mortgage. Because you didn't value the season you were in. Read.
The blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and he adds no sorrow with it.
Look at your neighbor and say, God's blessing is designed to make you rich. If you ain't rich, you mismanaged it. Highly favored. Then why are you catching the bus? Highly favored, and you got another name in the cell phone bill, another name in your cable come to your house. It's in John Davis' name, and you ain't no John Davis living in your. I know it's John over there. Ain't no John Davis living there. You use somebody else's credit to get cable. You didn't seize the moment. You just added on bills. Well, you know what? Since we don't have to pay cable, we can go here and put this in now. And since we don't have to pay gas and electric, we can go and put this. Now, both the people that's paying cable and gas less than move. Now, because you didn't save, you can't survive. God is not here. You are not getting saved and accepting Jesus as your personal Savior to be broke. You broke because of life choices. And you don't want to minimize yourself. Change to fit where you are, to climb where you want to go. You want to keep your head up to where you're going while your feet down in poverty. I got to hurry up because keep reading. Go ahead. I'm finished. I'm sorry.
To do evil is like sport to a fool.
Now listen, to do evil is like sports to a fool.
But a man of understanding has wisdom.
A man with understanding has wisdom. Can I be honest with you? A lot of y'all lack wisdom because you lack understanding. You have sealed in your mind, this is how my mama did it. This is how my great mama did it. This is how my fake mama did it, and that's how we're going to do. Do you understand what the church would be like today if church stayed the way it was 20 years ago? Well, we don't go for all that stuff that them church people do. Do you understand half of y'all wouldn't be saved if we didn't do modern dance? Do you understand if we didn't allow poetry in ministry, how many people still be lost? If we didn't get through from testify service and went into praise and worship, do you know how many people be like, I'm sick of hearing people's problems. I ain't come to church. You got to have wisdom. You got to do you know the challenge between a good man that has a bad marriage and a man that has a good marriage? You know what the challenge is? A good man don't know how to change from being single to married. So he goes into the marriage saying, I'm taking care of all the bills, but that's what you do. You take care of your bills. But he don't know how to be a partnership to his wife. He's always thinking single. I. You know what makes a bad marriage? Is a woman that wants you as a husband, but don't release you as a covering. So she always saying I. A woman that keeps saying I, it's mine, it's my responsibility, I, does not honor a covering. I got to get up and do it. It's my children. You don't honor a covering. I ain't never seen a woman a day in my life have a baby by herself. I'm having this by myself. How did that happen? Show us how to do that. We can put that in a bottle. We can make some money. To have a baby and not sin, that's be awesome. Always I. That's a woman that struggle honoring a covering. Check this out. When you get a woman that doesn't honor a covering, you get children that doesn't know what a covering is.
That's very true. I'll tell you what they say.
Come on, y'all. You raised with a mother by yourself. You come to church, they talking about covering. You be like, this is brand new to you. And you got to teach your children how to, when you got a child, when you teach your children how to honor a covering and you remarried, it's easy for that child to come under a covering because they know the respect of covering. When they don't know how to respect a covering, prove it to you. You get a child that doesn't know the covering, you got children that do know covering, you got a child that don't know covering, and you marry somebody, that child that don't know covering is the hardest one to bring in. He's always the headache. You could buy him Easter basket. He only eat the basket and going out and come on. Don't know how to say thank you. Always feel like you're getting on their nerves by asking them questions. When a child struggles answering your question, they struggle having you as leader.
Yes.
Because a leader is something you should trust.
Yes.
That deals with covering. Read. Let's go down. Let's go to second real quick.
Second Chronicles 20.
You stay with me. 20. Watch this. Read.
So they rose early in the morning and went out into the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went out, Jehoshaphat stood and said, Hear me, O Judah, and you inhabitants of Jerusalem. Believe in the Lord your God, and you shall be established. Look
at your neighbor and say, believe your Lord your God, and you shall be established. It just simply means things you used to do, you won't even do no more. Place you used to go, you don't go no more. You're established. Your feet is firm. Right. But this is the problem. Most people leave the Lord and they get established. Their life change, but they don't prosper. Because you're not going to first come straight to God and become a millionaire. Lord, this blew my mind. Do you know how many $1 bills they made? Do you know how many $10 bills they made? Do you know how many $20 bills they made? Do you know how many $50 bills they made? Do you know how many $100 bills they made? My question is, why we ain't got none? There's too much money on this earth for us to be broke. So like, they burning money. I wish I was in between the burn. This empty, this between, boom, bang, fire me. I got a couple of thousand. Come on now. Listen, you got to hear me. You got to change that. God did not create man to find a tree and cut the tree down and make dollar bills out of it and don't give it to you. Gold is in the ground. You might be living under a gold mine, but because we don't understand that it's laid up for us, it's made for us, it's called to us, we hook and crook and get nothing. Does not design us to be broke. It's the Lord's will for me to be in this season. That's not God's will for you to be broke. He's His will for you to learn something.
Yes.
Great kings God sent through examples. We ain't take no money from them. I've been in trouble and still had money in my pocket.
Yes.
Let's read.
Believe his prophets and you shall prosper.
Believe who?
His prophets.
See, this is what you fail to understand. The reason why we're struggling financially is because we want to challenge the man of God that's speaking. When you first get born, God don't give you no money ideas. So after that, you got to connect to the body, and the man of God hears from God, or the woman of God hears from God, and he speaks with this. 20 years ago, this would never be a Sunday morning sermon. 15 years ago, this would never be a church sermon. This would be something we would do success in life seminars. Have to be a Saturday workshop for you to come out of your financial crisis, because the world made tradition made us think that God, you don't add this to the kingdom. But I found out, just like Jesus said when the people was there ministering, he said, give them something to eat. You got to understand, if people can't eat, they can't listen. Put something in their belly. You act different when you broke. When bills are all around you and you can't breathe. Something happens to your character. You don't smile like you used to. You could be 100. You could be in the battle for a long road. But in your mind, you're like, how did we get? That's my favorite song. How did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Nobody's supposed to be here. Look at your neighbor and say, nobody should be broke. Shh. Our biggest account should not be in our biggest money should not be in our pocket.
Amen.
So you got to understand, even if you don't like the man, you got to listen. You know that church over there? I don't know that church. That's all they do is talk about money. And all they talk about money. They're going to go to hell talking about money. No, they're going to go, no, they're not going to go to hell. But you ought to look at how many cars driving up there. You got to look if they're going in city or out city when they leave. Well, look at the pastor. He living like he living. Ain't nobody going to teach something and not grab off of it. Crazy. You know why I'm excited about this? Because it works. It works. That's right. It works. Say it said it works. Let's go to the next scripture real quick.
Jeremiah 29:11.
Walk with me. Go.
For I know the thoughts that I think toward you.
This is what God says. This is what God says about you. He says, I know the thoughts that I have for you. This is what I think about you. This is what I think about you. You think about the ravens, but this is what I think about you. Read.
Thoughts of peace and not of evil.
He says, I don't want you to live in drama. So one thing you got to know is of the devil is drama. You ought to find people in your life that give you peace.
Yes.
Y'all young people, hear me. Don't go to school and hook up with people that treat you bad. You say that, listen, I'd rather be with somebody that's goofy, but give me peace. I'm in a season, make me laugh, baby. I need somebody to make me laugh, because guess what? I've been tense too long. Go to school, somebody, you wearing them jeans? Yes, I'm wearing these jeans. Say something. Don't tense me up, I'll lose my mind up in here. Read.
To give you a future and a hope.
He says, this is what God says. My plan for your life is to give you a future and a hope. This is so good. He's saying is, my structure is this. I don't want you to be stuck. Every day you wake up, you see something.
Yes.
Future.
Yes. Bless you, God.
How many days you woke up and you ain't see a future? Those are the seasons you didn't see God. Because God says, I never built you not to see a future. Now, anything, this is what, you can't have hope, Lord have mercy, until you invest a future. You got to see a future to have hope. You don't need hope to wear your hair. See how you wear your hair? You wore that for the last 5 days. You don't need hope to wear it that way tomorrow. You need hope when somebody said they're going to do your hair this afternoon. And you say, I hope it stay that way tomorrow. Can I get an amen? I'm trying to tell your mother I seen your hair that way for 5 days. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Read.
That's it.
You know, I ain't finished with y'all. Y'all talked about me 2 weeks ago. I'm still remembering. Go ahead, read. Go to the next scripture. I say work with me. Next scripture.
Deuteronomy 8:14. When your heart is lifted up and you forget the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt.
Look at your neighbor and say, sometimes success will make you forget who helped you get there. Do you understand how many women that helped a man get to the place he is, and now the day she don't look good enough? Yeah, I'm back there. Her hips was fine when nobody else wanted you. She wasn't ghetto when she was taking money out of her pocket for your dream. She ain't the same, but she ain't the one riding Uber. I'll just leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. Leave it alone. Let's go on. Let's go on. I'm trying to keep friends.
From
Amen.
the house of bondage.
Listen, you got to understand that in this season of success, you have to accept the people that paid your way through when you couldn't pay yourself. Can I break something down? Most people, when they walk in success, especially young people, when they walk in success, they don't stop loving their parents. They do forget their parents. They don't stop loving. So you see, the problem with the parent is they approach them like you don't care about me. They do care about you, but they so successful they can't pause to celebrate you. They forget, and God says, if you can forget who you see every day, it's easy for you to forget what I do for you. God bless you. God bless you. You got the bad job. You know, first, you know, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Now you got this job. Now it's just Jesus. 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 But at first it was Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Now you're doing good. It's just Jesus. 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 And God said, you forgot me, didn't you? He didn't say, you don't love me. You forgot me. I brought you out of bondage. I told you was somebody when your whole classmates called you stupid. Listen, you ran from a school that treated you bad to a house that could take care of you, but now you don't want to ever be in the house. Lord, give him some money so they can get some shoot pants. Read.
Who led you through that great and terrible wilderness, in which were fiery serpents and scorpions and thirsty land, where there was no water.
Yeah, you know, he helped me and everything, but what do you want? What do you want me to do? I mean, they helped me and everything, but they were good to me then, everything, but, you know, they want me to break my back to help. You don't know what I did. You don't know what I sacrificed for you to get where you going. You don't know. Sometimes we just forget what people do because you think that thank you give you a pass. Do you know when someone blesses me in a place, this is just me. When someone blesses me in a place where I know without a question of a doubt I could not bless myself, I spend the rest of my life trying to find a way to bless them. And I don't be bringing them no cake and cookies. I spend the rest of my life saying, you know what? I gotta put them in a place that makes them better than they are. So, you know, y'all kids here, even sleepyhead, you know, God's gonna bless y'all, right? And it doesn't matter what level your mother and father is. Your ultimate goal is you got to get to a place in your life that you bring something to them that upgrade where they are. If God hear you and see in your heart that's what you want, he will make you pass them. Because you give seed to a sower. A lot of y'all are stuck in an image and not in success. It's because you forgot who to bless. You forgot who to bless. No, for real. Oh, I love my mom, but you ain't blessing her. I love my dad. Yeah, but you forgot how much he sacrificed for you. I love my pastor. Send me to Disney World. Tastes good when the closet's empty. Now, since the closet's full, you think the person that gave you soup ain't nothing. See, y'all going to feed these homeless people, and one day, one of them going to become successful. The question is, can he remember the soup? Let's read.
Then you say in your heart, my power and the might of my hand have gained me this wealth.
This is what the church problem is right here. The church problem is that everything they do well, they claim for themselves. They forgot that God hold them through that season. That's why they got their job. They forgot that it was God that took your, watch this, you ain't gonna like this. It was God that took your indifference and still look, watch this. Let a man see you and still want to marry you. Now you think you all that because you married. You lost the gratefulness because you're living like a queen. Keep on living that way, you might not have a king. Got that chef level jacket on. Read.
And you shall remember the Lord your God.
He said, you shall remember me. Somebody said, remember me. You got to hear me. He said, you must remember the seasons you couldn't make it by yourself, but God brought people in to help you. You cannot forget. That's why when grandma is not feeling well and she can't leave the house, you go see her. Because you got to remember that grandma was the one that made the pancakes, and grandma was the one that gave you that thick syrup and made things taste good and stick to your side. Now grandma don't even know your name well, but you got to sit there for at least 20 minutes. God have mercy. Just to remember, it's not that she remember you, that you remember her. Because it was her sacrifice that gave you wealth. Ah, Lord. Read. He said, you got to remember the Lord your God because what?
For it is he who gives you power to get wealth.
He said, it is he that gives you what? Power to get wealth. Break it down, Pastor Tony. Yes, I will. If you're struggling in your wealth, it comes from your relationship with God. Well, I'm doing more than this person, but God's got more for you to do. You weighing your relationship with God with whatever people do. The deacons don't do nothing. The ministers don't do nothing. At least I'm at every service, but you're struggling. You got to ask God, what do you want from me now? Because you hold the wealth in the palm of your hand, means the fat part of your hand. It's not between the fingertips. It has no breakage in it. Said it's he that gives you power to get wealth. When I first read that, I took power as he gives me the activities of my limbs, which is true, to get wealth. No, it's bigger than that. God says, I'll give you the power to get wealth. Simply means that if you connected to me and I'm connected to you, then wealth will come to you. Because people with power don't go out. Power brings wealth. People come with negotiations and deals too. You can like what you want to like about the former President Trump. Well, not former. He's not former yet. That's not. But you know what I'm talking about. Upcoming, running in the first one in line to come to the next level president. But he gonna bring some wealth. Now it might not come to the country, but he gonna bring some wealth. He might get a little cut. It might be Trump Towers in every neighborhood, but he gonna bring some wealth. You hear what I'm saying? Now, I don't know about the war. I don't know about if he's going to stop the sun from coming closer to the earth. I don't know about all that. We might be chocolate when we hit it. Light-skinned people be black and everything. I don't know about that. But I do know this. Wherever he's touching ain't going to be broke. Because power brings wealth. And if you ain't got no wealth, it has to be with your connection. God is testing me, not with money.
All right. Yes.
Because if God tests you, let me use you for a minute. You don't mind it. I dream of Genie. Listen, let me use you for a minute. If God's going to test you with money, and it's God doing it, he has to also test you because he wants to test all of it. That comes from your mismanagement, and they're affected by it. So you got to pray grace. If he attacks your finances, he must be attacking your finances because he wants to attack them. Because they benefit off your finances. Come on. God ain't like that. That's your poor management. You don't have to pray. You have to change. Your connection with God, you told God yes to something and now it's no. You lost connection.